Now, you might think your garden is a tranquil haven for wildlife to peacefully coexist with one another, but that might be far from the truth, according to some new research.
Yeah, so wild animals might be battling it out in some kind of turf wars as they fight for food that people have left out for them. Victoria Hicks has this report.
A fox behaving aggressively towards a badger as it battles for scraps left out in a back garden. It's behaviour like this that's been analysed by researchers at Nottingham Trent University and Brighton University to better understand how urban wildlife interacts.
The research came about because we were working with the general public on wildlife, and they were asking us if they put food in their gardens for badgers, foxes and hedgehogs, what effects are that food creating between those animals? So are those animals just eating it, or is it attracting more animals together? And is there any potential conflicts or fighting between those animals by providing food?
After an appeal on BBC Springwatch, people filmed wildlife in their back gardens. That led researchers to analyse animal behaviour across almost 700 videos. What were the most surprising things that you found from your research?
So we had two things that I found really interesting. First of all was the interaction between foxes and cats. We thought foxes would see off cats and get access to the food, but actually it was the other way round. So in many cases the cats actually got access to the food and chased the foxes off. So cats were definitely top dog in the garden. Another thing we found really interesting is the interaction with hedgehogs. So hedgehogs against other hedgehogs, they're usually solitary, but what we found is when there was food present, they did try to fight each other. So hedgehogs are a little bit more feisty than we thought, and also with other animals. So we saw hedgehogs standing up against cats, they definitely saw cats off, and also foxes.
So how can we best support wildlife in our gardens and open spaces?
What we found from the research is that when we put out food, we change the interactions between animals. So if we do feed, and in many cases food is important for these species in urban areas, but if we feed, we need to feed responsibly. So try not to have it all clumped massively in one place, but to scatter it across the garden, and wherever possible, always use natural food items.
Looks like it's a hedgehog sniffing a fox.
This research is part of a wider study into urban wildlife to learn more about how we can best support it in terms of its behaviour and its health. Victoria Hicks, BBC News.
Well, do you know, we've received hundreds of videos and pictures of wildlife in your garden, so thank you for sending them in. We can't show them all, clearly, but here's a few of them.
Yeah, and if you hear Mike's voice chipping in here, that's because he loves wildlife.
I do.
He's on the sofas. So this is a video of what appears to be fox cubs.
Oh,
One of
look.
the viewers' gardens.
How many are there as well?
They are
Goodness
so
me.
sweet.
Quite hard to work out exactly
And
what's
cleverly
going on,
filmed
isn't it?
without frightening them off.
They all
Looks like
seem very calm.
Yeah, they're eating something. Is that something in the bowls there? We've also got this one, another image of foxes. Yeah, Nigel in Shoreham. That is unmistakably a fox. Shoreham
With his
by
own
sea.
bowl.
Yeah, Rachel, you're good. You know your wildlife, don't you? Mike, anything to add to that picture?
Well, he's got his own bowl. He's got his name on as well. I can't
Well, that's
quite
obviously
see.
someone who's in the habit of
Yes.
clearly feeding the fox,
Yeah,
unless it's
yeah.
a dog bowl, I suppose, and they're just nipping in. So, move aside, friendly foxes. This is a video of some hedgehogs.
Now, you see, hedgehogs came up in our discussion earlier with the wildlife expert, not Mike, somebody else, because she said hedgehogs do get quite cross and grumpy with each other.
What was the term called? The ball when they. So one charges at the other one.
Ram and roll or something
Yeah,
like that.
and then the one ball gets into a ball
And
to
then
kind of
gets knocked
escape.
along like
Sounds
a
like the
snooker
Six
ball.
Nations, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does a bit. And I think we've got one more, have we? Okay, so this is Elaine.
Oh, look.
She sent us a picture of a hedgehog. She's given it some food and water, and Elaine says, that's a smile. That's a hedgehog smile. What do you
Well,
think,
it's
Mike?
certainly a very happy hedgehog, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm buying that.
It's been
Brilliant.
fed and watered.
Yeah.
Happy days
in the
sun.
sunshine in the garden.
There we go.
Yeah. Fantastic.